Lives are tricky, y'all. Lives are tricky. Do you want me to close the window? I think we're going to close the window, even though it's beautiful and sunny. Yeah. It takes, it backlights me and I look like a big shadow. So that's why we got the black curtains. Take out the light, which that's what we have to do for camera. Plus, I think the noise would get to you guys from outside. Okay, let me get my ducky blankie. Oh, I got the ducks upside down, you guys. Hold on. All right, so how's that, everybody? Let's do that. Let me get the chat up. I want to talk today a little bit before we jump into the read because I have some things to go over. When I worked over for the Missing in Minutes, the RD channel, which I'm going to get you guys a link to that. You can help support the Steve Avery, Brendan Dassey cases. Total wrongful conviction. But I would do a 24-point conflict was one of the things I did. But now I'm looking at it and I'm like, I got all that in this. I've got so much to share on the case from a personal aspect. And so I do feel we need to do a reading to get a Summer Wells case update. But I have notes that I have to go over because it's time for me, Danny, to speak out from where I'm coming from after all these reads and everything that's happened in the case. So let's go ahead and work on getting chat. And then we'll go from there. This is, like I said, we are going to do a reading, but it's just not going to be right off the top. Arg, where is it? There it is. I'm learning still, you guys. Let's make sure the volume is down. And I'll put chat right here. Let's say good morning to a few of you beautiful people. I just got up a few minutes ago, so good morning, Allie. Now, if I don't say good morning to you, it's not that I'm not thinking of you. It's just I'm only going to grab a handful because I have a lot to share. And I don't want to take up a large portion of your valuable time. So, good morning. Let's start as high as I can go on the chat. Good morning, Paz. Emmy Danielle. Margie, 7 months. Congratulations and thank you, beautiful, for being a starlight. Let's see, you are a starlight seed. Thank you, humbly. And like I said, I'm just starting to work into really digging deep into what we're going to do to make it really, really a solid feeling to be a member. You know, it was all new to me. I've been kind of like given a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but I don't get a lot of feedback from members. So I need a little guidance from you guys to tell me what direction do you want to take the member section over to? Because I'd like to get that down to being one tier. Just you're a member or you're not. I want to make it affordable for everyone so that nobody is missing out. But I don't want to make too much of a change for those of you that have been so loyal. So let me know. Give me some guidance. Hi, Staff Grabbler. Let me put my jewelry on. I charge it overnight. I do not wear it while I sleep. And then this morning, I put it in my little box. And that way I don't lose any of it. And I have a specific way I put my jewelry on, so you'll have to forgive me a minute. Certain things mean certain things to me. Good morning, Pez, my beautiful. How are you? Hi, Tony All. Hi, Lisa T. We got Lisa T and is it Aggie? Yeah, we got an Aggie too. Thank you, Aggie. Good to see you, love. Sending you all healing energy. So I'm going to put on love because to me, that's the most important thing. Next, I could use a little dose of faith. And I always need hope, right? We always need hope in our life. Hi, Double Rainbows. Canadian Cookie, good to see you. Tiny T. Victoria's Tarot, good morning. Hello, everyone. All right, so Summer Wells case. I'm addressing this to the uppers in the Summer Wells case. You guys feel free. This is like my oral, my verbal letter. And I'm actually going to email this to someone, the link. If it's TBI, I doubt it. But to Hawkins County, yep, I am. So this is to Ronnie Lawson. You guys can choose to watch this. You can choose to throw it away. But you guys have no plan of action. You've admitted it. You have no plan. We are now 1 year, 365 days with Summer Wells missing. Perhaps you need to open up your little brain to a much bigger concept. If somebody's integrity stands tall enough that it's helping other cases, maybe you could open up to just hearing me out. Use your heart. You have one in there. That's why you supposedly chose your career, because your heart is in it, right? So, in order to reach you, I'm going to break down, and we're going to do this for a little bit, you know. What do you guys need for a suspect? For an actual suspect, right? Well, the person would need opportunity. They would need to have a moment of their time that they have the opportunity to commit the crime. A lot of people actually don't fit that scenario. They just don't. Because we would have some witnesses. So we can rule out a whole bunch of people. Make some people not a suspect right there. Okay. Next, they have to have actual access to the individual at that time, that moment. They have to be able to lay their hands on this child and walk away. Wow, that rules out a lot of people. Interesting, I'm hearing an ambulance go by. The biggest one is they have to have a motive. And in order to break it down, we have to start with that inner circle around that child. And we have to continue to broaden out our understanding in our research. So, initially, the parents were interviewed. And really, that kind of fell off. So one parent is in jail. The other parent's out. And how many times did Candace get interviewed? Just asking. So knowing that scenario, the best way I can do this, and I'm going to plant the little seed for all of my true crime people out there that support Summer Wells and trying to find her, because there are some incredible brains on YouTube. Let me tell you, we have lawyers, we have scientists, we have nurses, we have doctors. We have people that have studied true crime more than most detectives. So, yeah. So today we have to look at it, and I am going to break this down by person. So we're going to choose a person to break this scenario down. They have to have access. They would have to have opportunity. And they would need motive to be able to pull this off, right? Well, I got 21 that puts JS fitting everything on there. She should be a main focus by all logical means. So, Mr. Ronnie, with all due respect, a motive could have been land grab. The motive would go as such. The landowner puts their property up for sale. An offer is made. The landowner retracts said offer. The original person offering to purchase the land has already verbally witnessed and recorded their statement that they do not like having these neighbors and they don't like out-of-staters and a bunch more. So there's one motive. Second motive that's kind of a symptom of the first motive, which really brings it into focus, is they've already begun to record and vent their frustration and disapproval of the people personally living on that land, saying they're bad neighbors. Third reason would be because this person has some sort of a belief system that they segregate those that are not raised from birth on said property to people coming from outside. So a discrimination type personality to where they discriminate against others based on demographics and longevity. So if like that all happened, right there alone provides motive. So it just gave you motive. This person had opportunity and they could have had access. We've seen the sun, I shouldn't say we've seen the sun. We've heard, and there are police reports to back it up, that Jody Sue's son allegedly was on the Wells property and setting off alarms, and then ran, not once, but twice, maybe even 3 times. There's up to 6 witnesses that don't even know each other that I know of. Another thing I would think of would be anyone that would purposely interfere with journalists or researchers coming to the area, like trying to influence researchers and journalists coming to the area by saying, oh, you're going to be unsafe. Just throwing this out there. This came to me intuitively. Never in a million years. How many times did Jody Sue say that? Never in a million years. 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 Especially in the beginning. Never in a million years. This tells me that she had a prior expectation of an event and it went completely different than she originally expected. She had an attachment to an event, is what her higher self is fully admitting. Because when you say never in a million years, you have an expectation attached prior. Somebody that would misdirect the narrative that is associated with the case. So it's not just somebody that comes in that has no affiliation with anything. This is somebody that is living across the street, considered an eyewitness on many accounts, is purposely misdirecting the narrative, even going as far as to stating she remembers this event where this child came out of a shower when she would have been outside a home around several walls and literally could not have physically seen it at all. This person of interest would also possibly show signs of family dynamic changes and a dispersion of the energy. So people would be evacuating the home to avoid being the center of that situation. So the kitchen's hot and you lit the fire, you're going to move away from the fire initially and come back in later to monitor said fire to make sure nobody knows it was you. So you're going to pull back and then you're going to come back in. Lying about witnessing events, we just discussed that. Accidents by those on the illegal gains income. So what I mean by this is it's been clearly, allegedly talked about in code that she was involved with her and her, as she calls it, monster, in illegal activity of growing MJ. But she doesn't let him search her property. Oh, I'm afraid of drug charges. Well, then why are you not arrested now? As I said, the attention needs to be focused on people that vacated the area. How soon did they vacate? What were the actions prior? Because they have a motive. I can name a motive. Land grab. That sounds really good to me. Okay? If I take away something of value to this family that they can't have back and it destroys their happiness, will they move away? And then I get the land at a much cheaper deal. What is this person's lifestyle? We all know guilty by association holds true in a court of law. If this person murdered someone and they're they're suspect to murdering someone, if that is the case, significant others, if they're not married, will sometimes get married if they're involved in the crime so that they can't be forced to testify. Who does she claim as friends? What backgrounds do they have? Again, spotlight, person of interest, or suspect. You tell me. You're the law official, Mr. Ronnie. Does this person have a past drug history? Any charges? Because that would really, really make me wonder if they have a second motive. Did the child wander onto illegal farming procedures and get hurt, or conquer two birds with one stone? Oops. I remember this person saying, if one little, and now don't quote me, but it was something to the effect of, if one little foot, bare foot, steps on my property, right? Hansel and Gretel crap. And then we have a bare footprint? Come on. So, in true crime, often the case, let me grab a drink. Often the case with perpetrators is they start off with a small potato and they work into a bigger potato. So maybe they start with breathy phone calls to a victim, or maybe they start off as a peeping Tom, or in this case, are we looking at a peeping Andy Jr.? And peeping Toms in cases, and I'm not saying he is, and I'm not accusing him, I'm asking, was he being a set of eyes prior to her going missing as well? Big one for me. Changing your storyline. Why, if you are a true witness, would you change your storyline? You are choosing to alter the truthful path for a specific reason. We're going to go back to children in a classroom, and somebody's $5 bill is missing. As you go along and you question the children, nobody leaves the room till we find the $5. The one child that tells the lie is going to be the most suspicious one in that room. Because why would this child lie if they didn't have anything to do, have guilty knowledge with the $5 being gone? They would have zero reason. So if you change your story and you're directly related to this case as whatever you are, whether you're an eyewitness, whatever, and you change your story, you are now suspicious as heck. Why doesn't the law credit your ear witness, your hearing the scream? Oh, we don't give any credit to that. Why? I'll give you a reason. Well, they either, one, know you're full of shit and know you're lying, or two, they're protecting you because you're screwed up, and they're working to protect whoever it is that caused the scream. They either think you're full of shit, and there could be more. I'm going off the top of my head. You guys feel free, please, to comment. Another reason why law enforcement would discredit Jody Sue's account and her children's account of the scream. It's either they know she's not credible, or they know for a fact they got to cover that scream up. Like I said, staying close on the case. You move away from the kitchen, but you're very privy to the details. So allegedly, JS parked her little hiney at the end of the driveway for 4 days with her family at the time, across the street from the wells while all this stuff went on for 4 days, allegedly. Now, I can tell you, she has increased her social media skills, going from, once in a great while to every chance she gets, living basically till she nods off on screen, trying to control the narrative of the story. Oh, I'm not even started, y'all. So TBI, please do me a favor, Leslie, ma'am, with all due respect, one of y'all investigate this woman to the point that you can prove what is going on here, because something is not right, right? I mean, there's motive. Also, the woman herself has been recorded as stating that she feels like harming other people's children, that she only likes her own. Washing off the feet in the creek, which allegedly is filled with dirty drug syringes, and it comes out of her mouth, her reasoning has to do with the scent dogs. I'm just giving some moment of silence to that. Threatening people that are local, that are working on the case. Why would you do that? Why on earth would be your motive to threaten locals that are doing their damnedest to help work on the case? That alone speaks a lot. Threatening your ex. I watched it one night. It's one of the few times that the Divine kicked up the exact video where JS is threatening Andy Baltimore that if he goes live for $500 online, that her phone, her entire contents of her phone will be exposed. Threatening him. What would be your motive? Again, you want Summer found. Why on earth would you threaten anyone? Why would you lie to a YouTuber to scare them off from going to the area locally to investigate? Talking about dogs. Boom! Dogs hit on your damn feet. The dogs hit on her feet. They alerted on this woman's feet. Why use dogs at all? When a dog makes a hit, it's not a guarantee, but it's a real close one. Dogs can smell cancer in your stomach. Dogs can tell when you're pregnant. They can smell the infant. They can smell the baby. Dogs can smell 60 to 80 feet underwater. The dogs hit on her feet. Her dogs interfered, and later she boasted about almost wanting to do it again, where she walked her dogs to interfere with the search of a missing child. Okay, Cruella. Number one in my book, I'm done. Number one in my book, refusing your property to be searched by law officials, no matter what your reason is, puts you number one. Number one. Okay. I have vented. Thank you. I'm coming over to top side. And now you guys get to have your spill. Are you ready? Let me get to chat. I got to figure this all out. Again, you know me. I'm not that good at electronics. I sound so hoarse today because I was outside most of the day yesterday. We were running around doing so much stuff. It was just a very busy, crazy day. I can't get chat to work. I'll close it and reopen it. All right. With a white baby listening in while doing laundry. Yeah, we're going to get into the reading quite quickly here. I just need a minute, and I want you guys to contribute too. Tiny T says, I don't see how she can do that, Danny. That is so suspicious, and especially since it is close. Yep. Staff Grabber says, is JSB son F light kid? Who knows what kind of relationships were being had? Double Rainbow says, why did JS sit in creek water so dogs can't scent her? Cheryl Sling says, exactly, evil JS. Garfield, power and control. Now, you guys, we know little Miss Muffet ain't afraid of no spiders because she likes to go without perfume in the woods and don't chicken out crap. But as much as she was the land talker, the one that did all this, I'm doing this and this, and this person don't know what they're doing, and they mess with the wrong people, and I don't like people, blah, 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 blah. I could strangle children, blah, 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 blah. She's not Queen Bee. No. Who really was behind all that land? How much did Jody Sue own? Jody Sue is an eccentric, overused puppet in this. Because she ain't going to get shit. Hi, Grandma. How are you? Hello, Sully. Love you. Pez thinks there's more to the truck. Me too. Gma says she's a real piece of work. Canadian Cookie, here you go. JSB, the Queen of the Hills, is going to soon fall off her throne where she put herself. Tiny Tree says getting rid of evidence, in my opinion. Gma points out another good point. Washing her feet, and the dogs still stop at her feet. Well, of course they do. Refusing searches. All right, Leslie, please. We've made it abundantly clear without using tarot that there needs to be much more investigation in that direction. If the B family, Andy's parents, are not properly investigated, it will be out of TBI's control for our perception to be what it is, to quote that nasty King Kratz over there in the Avery case. Our perception, our trust, our faith in your administration, which is supported at this time by the taxpayers, it will be without our control that if the Bernards are not investigated properly and we are not kept apprised of it, our perception is going to change. And there's nothing you'll be able to do about it. Our trust will falter. Don't throw that away. The public's trust is extremely imperative because we have crowdsourced funding that can get a PI there, that things can happen because we crowdsourced and got enough attention to get Kathleen Zellner over on the Avery case. So don't misjudge us, because you can't be like, oh, they can't do anything about it. They're just the public. So we're not going to do our job and really show the public that the bees are getting investigated. I'm just telling you now, that won't work. It won't, because go ahead and ask somebody in the United States that knows the Steve Avery name what they think of our governor and what they think of Wisconsin. How much tourist industry have we lost because nobody wants to go to the southern part of Wisconsin after the Stephen Avery case? Furthermore, you don't want us to investigate our crime labs to see what's going on there, because when I did in the Avery case, I found out that there were so many deficiencies that under their own audit system, they had felt criticals where they had cross-contamination. When you look at the Darlie Routier case down in Tennessee, you had officers' hair showing up on that crime scene that had never been at that crime. So you don't want us as YouTubers to dig deeper. You need to give us answers, that there is accountability when there is motive, opportunity, and accessibility of someone of interest, that a thorough job is done, especially when we can see there's nepotism flowing in the good old boys department, where we have Lawson and the Bernards going to school together, hanging out on Facebook, chit chat. Oh, I love your parade. No, nepotism isn't going to work in 2022. Not going to cut it. Crack that can of worms wide open. So this is just a clean slate, offering you guys our trust in you to truly dig in deep and show us that you've questioned the right people. Don't tell me how many hours you worked. I don't tell you how many hours I work on YouTube to get one video out, do I? Because it doesn't matter. It's the result that matters. You only need one individual or two to question people. So I don't care how short-staffed you are. Somebody go talk to the bees. And this is all, in my opinion, all alleged. And this is just how I, Danny, feel. So I'm going to jump off here. I'm going to cool down. I'm going to clear my energy. And at 1 o'clock, I'm going to come back. And I promised you a read. So that'll be for you guys that want the read. It'll be part 2. So it'll have the same thumbnail, but it'll say part 2, because I need a breather to clear my energy. I love you guys. Let's see what's going on. Can't help it, you guys. It's just like I got to clear. I got to vent in order to keep my energy clear. And she is a main person of interest in Mama D's book. My cards have showed it. And then this woman has proved every time that my focus turns to her because of her. I love you too. Miss Potato Head, I love your name. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Kathy. How are you? You guys are so great. Thank you, Sandy. Comic Dreamer. I agree. That was BS about how many hours, because it just doesn't matter. You don't even need to tell us any of that. That was an excuse. Oh, I thought I was going to leave, but I have to say this also, as long as I got to. Don't be deflecting your crap onto the YouTubers. You got nothing to do a report about because y'all haven't really dug in deep to the right people. So you have no subject matter to talk about. So you're going to deflect onto the YouTubers instead of bringing up the one or two incidences, such as you could have just said something along the lines of, there are those that are considered persons of interest that are not cooperating properly with the case investigation and are interfering on a social level. I mean, at what point are you interfering with an investigation? You're deflecting that crap onto YouTubers because y'all haven't done your job. You come up looking small. That's why, you're worried about your size. Your ego's worried. We haven't got nothing to share, and this isn't going away. So we need to point the finger over here. Look over here. There's nothing to see. Look over here. They're causing us problems. Over here. Don't, no, nothing to see. Go over there. Go over there. That's suspicious. And don't be all getting up in our faces, TBI. I mean, like, you need to trust us. We're doing everything possible. We just got done watching the FBI think that Brian Laundrie's mother was him. That's like a white Cadillac going by and somebody going, did you look at that red Corvette? That was pretty. What? That's dumber than a box of rocks. What the heck? Give me a break. Well, actually, I love rocks, and a box of rocks are pretty smart, I think. So I'm going to change that. That's dumber than a bucket of hair. Just let me just say, we're not going to continue to trust you guys if you do not give us a reason to trust. And if you lose the public's trust, I mean, look, we're just getting a refrigerator over in the Harmonies case, and this kid's been missing 3 years, so we're losing faith, and that's going to be a big deal, much bigger deal than you think. All right, I will see you guys 1 o'clock, just so you can do your math. It, at this point, as I'm saying this live, at this time, would be 1 hour and 15 minutes from where we are right now. 1 hour, 15 minutes is my 1 o'clock Central United States time. I'm going to grab a bite to eat, which normally I try to do my reads on an empty tummy, but it's getting late in the day, and I had to vent. I have to get it off my chest, so I love you guys to the moon and back. Stay tuned for part 2 in 1 hour and 15 minutes. So, 75 minutes. Love you guys. Thank you. Namaste. And justice for summer, of course. Love you.